Hello. Oh, hey, everybody. Oh, we got 4 people here. So we're just give a few seconds to let a few people kind of stroll in. Thanks for showing up. If you could say hi in the comments, I'd love to know who's here. Say hi. This is meant to be a question and answer session. So I'm excited to kind of just walk through the current interface and maybe show off some of the little features that might be hidden in addition to some of the really cool stuff that you're probably already aware of. Hi, Jess. Hi, Michelle. Hey, hi, Scott Curtis. And the guys, ask questions anytime if there's anything you want me to cover or anything like that. I am more than happy to do that for you. Excited to have so if you have any pre-questions right now, any kind of things you want to make sure I talk about while we're waiting for hopefully a few more people that signed up to stroll in, I would love that. So, and let me know that you can hear me okay. I assume you do since you said hi after I said hi, but so Scott, any questions? Jess, any questions? Michelle, any questions? Herman, thank you, Jazz. Good to know. Good to know. So, all right. Well, we will. My marketing team's like, you got to send it an hour before. You got to send it 5 minutes before. So I was like, that's not in my comfort zone to keep sending a lot of emails out. But thank you guys for coming. So let's get going. I guess we gave a few minutes, right? Unless anyone has some pre-questions. So last chance to kind of get a pre-question in to make sure that I'll cover it throughout. I think I set up my auto reply, but I'm not seeing it. Okay, I'll show you where that is. No problem. But I think I've gotten one from you, so I'll check it out. But I'll show you where it is in the system. What I was going to do is I was going to take everybody through a series of screenshots. I think I'm not seeing it for comments. Okay. All right. Well, I'll go through a bunch of stuff, Scott, and then we'll do it because a lot of the stuff there's a lot of cool data around. So let's get going. Let's get started. I don't want to. Let's see here. There we go. All right. It's a one-man shop, so bear with me. I'm doing. We'll do it. So the idea of Stampede Social is we built this for creators to help you get your content out to your fans in the most effective way possible. But in addition to that, we wanted to create more of a platform so that it can do a lot more things because you as a creator, you have a lot going on. And so Stampede Social handles a lot of the missing elements of features that we would wish were available on Instagram. Automation being a big one, but also post level giveaways, making that really easy for you to do, tracking user generated content, which is great if you want your fans to post something and use a hashtag and tag you. Just understanding actually the comments that are coming in and having access to those in a meaningful way. So a lot of great things. So the whole idea here is that Stampede Social is meant to be your support system, and it was built to be extremely easy to use. And so we're we constantly are updating it and making it easier to use based on feedback. So if there is one underlying message of this, a lot of the changes, updates, nuances came from feedback that we received. I think we made a major change based on a suggestion that Jess Paul had made. So there's who's with us right now. So thank you, Jess. But anyway, so I'm going to show you all the different areas and how you kind of can deep dive in. But just to kind of level set real quick, just understand what the ultimate goal here is. What we're trying to avoid is this whole idea where when you come to something on Instagram, that you have to then go to the bio, click on the link in bio, go wherever the link in bio sends you, and then go, then find your clicks. So you're 4 or 5 clicks away from basically whatever content you want your fans to get to. The idea here with Stampede Social, create that campaign, hashtag Charlie Day in this example, create engagement, create some action in the DM as well, and then go from there, and then send them wherever you want to send them. But what's unique about Stampede Social and our automation under the covers that you have full reporting on is that every time one of these links is sent in a DM, you know exactly who requested it, why they requested it, which posts they requested it from, if they clicked on it, how many times they clicked on it. And then once they click on it, they go to that destination. Over time, you know who your top fans are because you're like, oh, Scott's clicked on, he's requested 5 episodes or 5 of my blog posts or attended 3 of my webinars. And so you start to have a full database and understanding of who those top engagers are. And we feel that's extremely important. So part of what we're trying to do is get you data hungry as well, but also start to understand that because every comment is collected from every post and reel and live event, that you can start thinking differently about how you approach Instagram in regards to if I can create more conversations, not just automations, but conversations, then I can collect that information and I can learn from that. So if you put out a new product, you want people to talk about it, or what new features you want people to suggest. They start commenting with new features. Right now in the app, it's really difficult. The Instagram app, it's difficult to get to this type of information. So we make it real simple and easy for you. And then we have the dashboard that you have posts that are actively monitored, and you can dive into those. And I'll show you some of the cool features with that as well. But every post on Instagram current post is reflected on the Stampede Social dashboard that you have as well, giving you extra features and abilities, which are really cool, including some really cool AI stuff, which I'll show you live. So let's see, I should have repositioned my body here on the screen. So, hey, welcome everybody who's just joining. Feel free to comment hello, ask any questions as we're going. Let me know you're here. I'd love to see it. So, so this is when you log in, this is your dashboard. And what you're seeing is your most recent posts. You can jump to a campaign right here. And at the top, you can also go to campaigns from any page or reporting or come back to the home screen, which is this screen right now. So what we're seeing here is every post, and this is where we can start to help with customer fan comment engagement. While Stampede Social is not a full inbox management tool, we do offer some great engagement tools to keep you top line for your comments. So you'll see in this particular one, it says 1 comment. That means a new comment has come in that I have not addressed through Stampede Social. And so when I click into it, you'll see that the comment is there, and now I can respond. Hi, Michelle Williams from Texas. You can now respond to this comment from the Stampede Social dashboard. So just kind of showcasing this for a second here is, let me move my head. Showcasing this for a second here, you have a few things. One is you have all the stats being pulled at the top. You have all the stats being pulled right here for this post. I personally love that because you don't have to dive anywhere else for it. So you can see how a post is doing very real time. A couple hidden features that we're going to get better at pointing out, but this button right here, this will download this. You can also take a nice little screenshot of that if you want to do that. And this QR code, this little thing that looks like a QR code, if I clicked on it, it would bring up a QR code that if you were outside of Instagram, if someone scanned it, it would take them to this post. So another thing, so when you're diving in here, there's a whole world in here. There's these buttons in the corner here, which sorry, you can't see because now my thing is blocking it, but there's a download button and then a little gift icon. If you have a creator package, I apologize. The gift icon's only in Creator Pro and Creator Pro Plus. But what that means is, I'll get to that in one second. But below here also is your AI tone and theme. So hopefully you guys have in the campaign section, which I'll show you in a minute, set up your tone and theme. Where that comes into play is right here when these comments come in. So when you see the one comment and you come in here, you can click on AI help and it'll generate a response for you. This is a screenshot, but I'll show it to you live in a bit. It'll generate a response for you, and then you can choose to send that as a reply or send it as a DM. So you have two choices there. The AI options, which you set the default in campaigns, which I'll show you in a second. The AI options also show here. You just can't see it on the screen. You'd have to scroll down if this was you're live here. But you can change the tone and theme and play with it here if you wanted to play with different tones and themes real time, just to kind of get a feel for what type of response it is. And then you can go back into campaigns and create and reset it as your default. So, um, so there's a couple other cool features on this screen as well. There's these buttons right here, these little gray buttons, which I'm guessing up to this point you may have ignored. But the cool part is this one right here is probably the coolest of the three. So I'll focus in on this one right now. This means hide, and then if you clicked on this, so say this is one of instead of a real comment, it's one of those promoted on Texas Rexards. Sorry, Michelle. One of those kind of just spam account comments that come in when we post stuff. You can click this icon and then hit update, and it'll remove that comment from Instagram for you. Now, something else to keep in mind is at the bottom of every screen, there's a help button, and everything I'm talking about, there's a help screen for to kind of talk through everything. And as most of you know, I'm very responsive, and you can always email me direct as well. So there's also this is a whole search function, which I'll go into in a different uh, Q&A because that's a whole thing in itself. But as every comment comes in, it's being stored as a live database. So you have a full comment database. So as you respond, it'll move out of active comments, which makes the dashboard more effective because then when a new comment comes in, it lets you know so you know which posts to dive into. You can send a DM or you can send a reply. The DM button is only available for the first 7 days. That's just how Meta works with third-party apps. But if it's a fresh post, you can send a DM. A lot of times where this is extremely helpful is if you have an automation and you told someone to use this hashtag and they spelled it wrong, let's say, then you can come here and DM them the correct link. I'll show you where you can grab a link to send them, but you can use our interface to then just DM them versus telling them to try and redo it. Just send that once they've engaged with you, just send it to them through this interface. We built this to make it real easy to kind of do a quick Q&A for someone who might, a quick customer service for somebody who might have maybe typed something wrong when they were responding to your captions, to your campaigns. Okay, so let's talk about campaigns. So this is the new interface. It used to be one long page. For some of you who joined after we did that, this would just be how it was for you. But on the campaigns page, which you can get to from the dashboard or the top bar where it says campaigns, you can click. This is your default. And I'm not specifically going to go through how to do everything in immense detail. I'm going to try and just give enough. So if you have specific questions, feel free to ask questions. You won't. But what we built here now is with this new version, especially if you saw the old version, is we built in some text to kind of help guide. And then there's this little question mark in the corner of each section, and that will open up a help page, a full help page on this particular piece of the campaign management. So if you click on this, it'll be a whole page on AutoDM Campaign Builder. But to create this, you just type in the hashtag and you type in the full URL and click Start Campaign. And once it starts, you're ready to go. This is what it looks like kind of in real world. So, you can put it in the typing, letting go in the comments to get a DM from me and put it also in the caption, type letting go. Then people start doing it, they get the DMs and they go to their destination. So you can of course, once here's the other cool thing about Stampede Social, unique thing about the way we approach automation is that you set up the campaign first and then you go create your posts, right? So you could set up a campaign today and not do a post for a week because no one's going to know to use that hashtag. That's, use something specific to what is going to drive that engagement. I like to do, if Scott was interviewing me on his podcast, hashtag Jeff, and so something unique. So you can set that up ahead of time. Once it's set up, it works automatically as a comment to a post, a reel. If you go live on Instagram, as a comment to on live on Instagram, a comment to a story, or ask them to send it direct to your DM. A lot of times a call to action might be DM us below, or I'm sorry, comment below, hashtag um, mailing list, or DM me, hashtag mailing list for a link to the mailing list. The only sometimes where you might want to use the DM option or let people know it's an option. Well, it's always an option, but literally letting them know is if it's something maybe of a sensitive nature that you're asking people to request and they may not want to comment publicly, then they could do it privately in a DM. But the cool part is once you're set, you're all ready to go. And in the reporting, it lets you know if it came in via DM or a post or a reel or a broadcast. And one of the reasons you would use stories, a lot of times people say, well, but there's a sticker, the URL sticker for stories. Still do the campaign on the stories, get them to comment. Because the whole idea here is we're trying to capture these anonymous, we're trying to capture these anonymous users and gets them to know if they click on a URL sticker on a story, it's an invisible click. Meaning they clicked on it, they go there, you don't know what happened. If Will makes a comment on my story, I know he made a comment. I could always potentially follow up with him or see because now he's in my DM and he's in a report that I can check on later. When you go live, which is great, I encourage everyone, especially now with StreamYards and eCams and all that, and can now go live, is to set up your campaigns ahead of time. You can do a campaign during a live event. They'll get the DM during the live event. And the other cool thing is during the live event, all the comments are being stored. And if you have the Stampede Social dashboard up as well, you can actually DM somebody during an event, which is unique to the platform. You can't do that via the actual app itself during the event. You can only do this during the live event because once the live event's over, it's gone, as you know. Same thing on Stampede Social. You can click into this from your main dashboard once you go live. It takes about 60 seconds for everything to sync up. But once it's there, then you can go there and your comments. You can use it just like a post dashboard you did earlier. And then the winner selection tool is also built into the live event as well. Again, this is for Creator Pro and Creator Pro Plus. If you have the creator, there's just an extra step, which is you click on this icon, which downloads all the comments. And you can then do randomizer.org and pick a number and kind of do it manually. The difference is this tool is built to ask how many responses you want somebody to be able to enter. If you ask them to do a filter term, I ask them to do hashtag sweeps. And then when you click shuffle, it'll dedupe that list. So if there's 500 comments, it'll dedupe it to 400, and then it'll randomize it for you, and then basically download it for you as a top-down winner selection list. So you still need to do all your rules and all that kind of stuff that you need to do, but there's is a lot of heavy lifting there that can save you about 20-30 minutes per time, and it also helps make doing post-level giveaways so easy to do. Because right now, a lot of the things that we're solving for are things that people do on Instagram, but it's just hard to manage and measure. And so we fix all that. So when you click into the during an actual live event, this is what it looks like. That's just me going live from StreamYard, and so you can see the comments and activates from that there. The one thing I didn't mention earlier when I was showing these gray buttons is that the middle one means ignore. So if you click ignore update, it's just moving it out of active comments. So if I shout out, hey, shout out, pod around and find out, and then I hit ignore and update, it'll move it out. Still in the database. Didn't ignore it anywhere other than just moving it out of this active comments so that I could move on to the next comment and call, shout out to somebody else. So, okay, so back to the campaign management. So once you create your auto DM campaign, all of them are stored in the active auto DM campaigns tab. So just the next tab down will have all your concurrent campaigns showing at the same time. And this is a kind of a feature which is really cool, but I think goes under spoken, is it's a trackable link. And so what that means, and then if you go to reporting, there's this report right here, and it's a full database, a full report of all of these links. What you can do here is just click on the one you want and copy that one. If you wanted the whole report at once on your desktop, you can just download it here. Now, why would you use this? If I'm doing hashtag chef and I'm sending people to this, I'll click on this trackable link because right now we know the automations work on Instagram. So what we want to do is take that trackable link and I'm going to go on Twitter. I still call it Twitter. You go on Twitter and I'll use that link. And then when people click on it, it'll redirect through Stampede Social. They don't have to be on Instagram or anything like that. Just click redirects through in Stampede Social. So it registers that click. So if you also do that in email or on Facebook and you use this URL, then in the auto DM sent report, which I'll show you in a second, there is a line item called Chef Affiliate, and it'll register all those clicks. So you might have 100 clicks from other social media platforms that were using this URL, and it collects it all for you in one place. So that's meant to be a convenient feature. And then remember earlier I mentioned, oh, hey, if someone types one of your hashtags wrong, instead of saying, hey, type it right, that kind of thing, you can come here. If they type chef wrong, let's say they type chief or something, I can grab this trackable link and then go back to my dashboard and then say, here's the link, and just send them that version of the link. And then when they click on that, I can track that they clicked on it as well. But that's an easy way to give them all the information that they need and to kind of manage a little customer service as well as people perhaps need it. When you click on edit right here, it'll open this up and you'll have a archive and delete option. If you want to delete a campaign, you can. If you want to archive it, the main difference is that archiving it saves the link destination data, but sometimes you may just need to delete something. If you only have X amount of concurrent campaigns going for a particular plan that you're on, eventually campaigns tend to run their course. So you can come here and you can retire one and then add a new one to replace it if you've maxed it out. So auto responses. This is I think this was the Jess Paul suggestion. Jess said, I need to be able to do this. So and we by the way, there's a link at the bottom of when you're logged in, stampede.social/login. We'll get to the login page. At the bottom, there's a send feedback. You can always email me. I'm sure most of you have my email address by now, but you can always do a send feedback if there's something you found like, hey, it'd be great if this did this, or if you want to submit an idea or something like that. So this auto response, these are the DMs that somebody will get when they use your campaign. And so you never have to touch this if you don't want. We put some samples in there and they work just great, but you can come in here, click edit, and this will open up, and you can, we give directions here, and then, like I mentioned, there's a help page. You can click here for more detailed directions on that. You just don't want to mess this piece up. You never have to put a URL in here ever. Don't tag people, and you just literally tag people, and then you just put the hashtag symbol there, yeah, and that'll fill in whatever campaign those folks are requesting. And then I usually put a bunch in. You can have fun with it, and it'll kind of go through it. They'll send this one, then the next time it'll send that one, that kind of thing to the next person. You can have as many as you want in there. Just hard return at the end there, but all the directions are right here. You can make it a little more in your voice, have fun with it. Some people just have one. I like to have a few just because, I don't know, it makes me feel good. And so, yeah, so that's it. The important thing to remember here is the whole idea with Stampede Social is that every time you set up a campaign, it's just easy to set up. So there's no flows, there's no special messaging, there's no anything. So these direct messages are meant to be enjoyably generic that can fit into every. Here's your link for hashtag mailing list. Here's here's the link you requested for hashtag chef enjoy. That gives the URL at the end. Once it fills in, it's not as generic as it feels when you're just kind of looking at this list. But what that allows is that when you're setting up a campaign, you're 5 seconds in and you're done. If you're like, oh my God, I'm about to go live on Instagram, set it up, it works. You don't have to worry about flows and different messaging if they do this or that. It's all taken care of for you. And then you have the pieces that you can put together to kind of do this, to tweak it a little bit. So we mentioned earlier that on the dashboard, there's a voice area where you can play around with that. But in the campaigns area, under AI, tone, voice, and generator, you can actually set your defaults. So that's what they'll always set at. You click edit. There's about 50 in each of these downloads. If you click on this, you'll get some more information. There is a report. You can click here to download it, or you can go to reports, and it's called the AI tone theme analysis. It's the exact same report, regardless of which way you click on it. And so the question is, well, Jeff, there's 50 tones, 50 themes, that's 2,900 combinations. Where do I start? And so, let me make it a little more personal here. So basically, it's not the prettiest report, but you'll get a text file, suggested tone, friendly celebrity, casual comedian, kind of give you a bunch of things. Now keep in mind, these are AI analysis, so I don't actually see it. It's created different every time you click on it, but it'll give you an idea where to start. So if these exact words aren't in there, you can find ones that are close to it, but that's meant to kind of help you set your tone and theme and then use it to create responses in the home dashboard. Another really cool feature is this QR code. So this QR code opens up your Instagram DM. This one opens up Jeff Dwoskin Show. That's my personal podcast. But this would open up whatever your account is set to. And so what that means is, just kind of visualize it for you. This is me presenting at a event, right? And I'm asking people to point their phone at this QR code and use hashtag slides. When the DM opens, DM me hashtag slides. I've already set up a campaign, hashtag slides. It goes to a presentation. And so while I'm on stage, I am getting a literal lead list of everyone interested in what I just spoke about. And the reason this approach is better than just a QR code that opens up www.mywebpage.com is you have no idea who did that in that scenario. In this case, they've now engaged with you. So you've turned them from anonymous to known. And that's, thank you, Jess. Jess says, oh, wait, let's see. Jess says, that's epic. I agree. This is one of my favorite things. So if you have a store or something like that, or you send out, you made a book, put the QR code in the book and tell people, hey, scan this, let me know how you like the book, or use this hashtag. I'll show you how you can do user-generated content tracking in a second. But, you can do lots of cool stuff. If you're a pizza shop, put the QR code on the pizza box and get them to join the mailing list right there. Anything you want. It's really just meant to be completely to your imagination at this point. But I think that's really cool. So we call it a magical Instagram profile QR code. Maybe a little over the top on the name, but it is pretty cool. User generated content. This is what this does is Stampede Social does really well is if you have fans, so we do stuff for a conference called Podfest. And so on Podfest, if you go and use Podfest, hashtag Podfest24 and tag Podfest, their Instagram account, which is connected to Stampede Social, it pulls all those posts in for them. So they know everyone doing content related to their hashtag and tagging them, and then they can respond to them. They have a full database of everyone that entered. So it's a way for them to do their meme contests or just track what's going on at the events and have a full record in one place of that. If you're an author, you might in the back of the book say, hey, love the book, use this hashtag and tag us and take a picture and post it on Instagram, reading your book with your child or to your, in your book club or whatever it might be. So there's different ways that you can kind of do that, which is kind of cool. And then this is just kind of a visual for you. Like, so if, Starbucks were using it, they hashtag coffee Starbucks, add Starbucks, and it pulls into the interface where you can see that, you can then respond to that. You can't automate user generated content. It's always the first question. But you can't automate against user generated content because it's on their timeline, but you can collect it. And so this is another one of those things where, when I worked for a major corporation, we would do these contests, but there was no good way to manage or measure them or know how many people, this tracks how many unique people, how many posts, etc. Unnecessary animation for you. All right. So admins. So if you have the creator package, then you're the admin. If you have Pro or Pro Plus, you can add other people to your account. You can add them as full access admins or read-only access admins. You put in their Facebook email address and then just hit add. I'm not taking you through the whole process here, but it's as easy as that. What you'll see is at the top here, you'll see logged in as Jeff at jeffisfunny.com. That's my personal email address. And so what that means is if you give someone full access and they are responding to your fans via the DM options that I showed earlier on the dashboard, it tracks in our database that was sent and who it was sent by. So you don't have, which is a nice feature that isn't on, if somebody just has access to the Instagram app and somebody posts something of questionable nature, you have no idea who it is. This way it tracks who did it in our database. So everything is tracked. So, and then if you don't want them to have access anymore, you just hit delete. But what's nice about this is you can give people access to Stampede Social without giving them access to your actual social media credentials. So they log in through their credentials and you just okay it on the back end here. And then at the very bottom, there's a section called account details. And basically all you as a user can update here, if you click at it, is the default URL. And I encourage you to do that. What is a default URL? If you delete a campaign or archive one and months go by, many months, and somebody clicks on it, they just randomly find it, where do you want it to go? Because it may not, the record of how you originally set it up may not still be in place because it's all well in a history at that point. It'll go there. And then this just kind of tells you a bunch of stuff, a little sneak peek. We're working on TikTok and TikTok, not automation or anything, but stats, to be able to get you stats for that. And then this is your subscription. You can click on that and you can manage your subscription that you set up earlier. When you originally did it, this is how many DMs you've sent, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a way to kind of just keep tabs on everything there. Now, if you have Pro Plus, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with this because I know not everyone does, but if you have the top tier, there's additional AI reporting that you can get with it. So if you're really generating a lot of cool stuff and you want to know what other people are doing and things like that, the competitor analysis, you can type in, like I wrote in smart lists. And then in reporting, there's a button and it'll go and it'll read the smart list captions and give you an AI competitive analysis report. This is 8 of 13 pieces of it. And so it tells you their call to actions and all that kind of good stuff. So there's some cool AI features that we built in on top of that. Also, if you're heavily active and an influencer and want to report back how a particular post does, oops, went, oh, where am I? Oh, you have this AI comment analysis tool that'll kick in with Pro Plus plans after 5 comments that will give you an analysis of those comments for that post. So you can kind of, if you're, especially if you're doing kind of influencer marketing in a product, you can download all the comments for them if they want, but you can also create this analysis for them or for you to then craft into a report for them. At the top of reporting, we'll get to reporting in a second, but like this account drop down, if you're familiar with if you were around before this update, those were like these giant buttons. So we moved all those here. You generally do not need these buttons, and I apologize. Some of them I may be able to see because I'm a super admin. But re-authenticate, you'll generally get an email if you need to address one of those, and it'll tell you to do it. Reporting, we rolled this out a little bit ago. Great response to this, creating this overall dashboard here, which is your comments and all that kind of, all your Instagram, where is it? Instagram post stats. This is a summary right there, kind of an aggregate to kind of let you know how you're doing there. These are your top 5 fans based on comments. This is your comments report right here as well. A little bigger, top fans report. Here's your top 5, but here's a full report of all the fans, anyone who's commented. So you can go down to the very itty bottom of that list. How your top 5 GM campaigns are doing. You can download this auto GM campaign report. It has all the information in it that you can sort all the raw data right there for you. Here's the AI tone analysis report we talked about. This is where those competitor reports would be with certain plans. And then these aren't pretty, but I apologize. But like, so when you download like the auto DMs sent report, you get a full kind of all the raw data for you. Source, how it was sent, who sent it, who requested it, where they were sent to, how many times they clicked on it, all that kind of stuff. Oh, and then at the bottom here, it says affiliate. That's how you can track the clicks that you sent to, that you used on LinkedIn and stuff that I showed you earlier. So there's the affiliate redirect link, that report you can download, and it just has all the links, like I showed you, Chef Eddie, so these buttons right here, these clicks right here, this doesn't give you the results of it. This gives you the actual links to use on your different platforms. So, and then under archive, you have when you have monitored posts on your dashboard, let's say you have 10 and then you post again, it'll knock the 11th into dashboard. It just sticks around in dashboard for a little bit. So you can still go in and look at the data in this visual format. This is also where all your live archives are. So once if you go live, you can come here and you can see all of the comments that came in for a particular live event. There isn't a pretty picture because Instagram doesn't allow you to, it doesn't exist once it doesn't exist anymore. So you kind of got to go by date on those live events, which I don't love, but unfortunately it's the only way to do it. What do you want to do? Say thank you, but this is where it gets dangerous and I go live, but this is actually my dashboard right here. And again, if you have any questions or anything like that, You can see that I'm a witty comedian or a wise comedian. And when I click on help, it will generate a response. Isn't Foley magic? Everyday sounds become stars on the big screen. All right, so ready. So here's what's amazing about this AI help tool. Um, Notice that it actually knew what Foley was. That's not a mistake. It's reading the caption. So what's unique about this engagement tool is that it says, okay, Foley is awesome. And then it looks at the caption and says, all right, this comment was made in context to this caption. Now let's create a response in this voice, in this tone and theme, and then and create that. You can edit this. Isn't Foley magical? You can do anything you want. You don't have to send it. You can hit AI help again. It'll generate a different one. And so, you know, it just you can have fun with it. It's it's always good to just take it as a great idea. It's AI, and you can edit it and have fun with it. By the way, if you click on this version of the image here, it will take you to your Instagram. Just FYI. So again, these buttons right here, which we kind of went by pretty quick earlier, but this one, if you click that and update, will hide it from Instagram. If you click the middle one and hit update, it'll just remove it from active comments. Doesn't send anything or anything like that. And by the way, nothing ever gets sent unless you click send. Okay, so creating AI help just is fun just to do it. Flag, if you click flag and you hit update, it'll put it into this category of flagged where you can then hit flagged and update later and it'll pull that up. It's just meant to say, all right, if you have a heavy volume of comments and you want to just move something into flagged because you want either someone else to look at it later or you want to make sure you address it very specifically later, you can do it. You don't ever have to use that if, depends how many comments might be in your in the area there. So any comments? Any questions? I've been talking for a very long time. Love to have if there's anything that you want me to go over again, anything like that. Okay. This is just it live. You answered mine. Okay, cool. Thank you, Scott. This is something new. We're probably going to be tweaking this along the way. Thank you, Jess. Hopefully you all feel the same. Thanks, Jess. This is new. Hopefully you like it. Is if you click start campaign, the error is like here. It's not this kind of weird error that kind of floated. Some places that still exists. We're kind of making updates to it, but just trying to make it. And eventually, actually, that'll overlay. But we wanted to make it prettier. I didn't have a grasp. I didn't have a grasp of the trackable links. I'm glad you covered it. Oh, well, yes, absolutely. Thank you for that feedback, Scott. The trackable links are extremely helpful. It's hard because, admittedly, we built kind of a platform here that does a lot. And this, being a creator myself, be like, oh, can we do this? Can we do this? So we always would build in these little things. And so the UI guys, the UI person's eventual task was making it all a little better. But I think with the directions here, but again, if anything's ever not clear, at the very bottom here, there's a help center. And so what the help center is basically a bunch of documents that go through hopefully everything that I just went through. Some have some video guides to it, etc. And the other thing is, if you click on the share feedback at the bottom, that's our customer service center. Again, you can always send me email direct, but there's more team that can see the ticket. And plus, if you have like images that you want to share or anything like that, this is a great way to do that. Use the ticket system. But again, if you have a quick question, it's always just as easy to email me as well because I am very responsive. Let's see if when you click edit here, let's see if that, nah, it doesn't show. I apologize, but it just doesn't show in the drop down. The Google thing doesn't pick it up. But there's like 50 in each of these. You know, wise, trustworthy, persuasive. You can have a lot of fun doing that. Let me show you the admins real quick. If you click add or remove admin, you just type in the email address here, and it will go from there. There is sometimes, just so you know, that Facebook may not be able to see their email, so they will get a Facebook ID. If you're not inviting someone to ever do this, you never have to really worry about it. But if they get a Facebook ID, they'll be given directions, and then you just put in their Facebook ID versus their email address. But it's pretty straightforward with the flow. When you go to any one of these, like here's admins, it'll take you through the admins. And this one happens to have a little video, and I'll take you through all the different things, some FAQs, all that kind of stuff as well. So trying to make it as user friendly as possible. All right. I appreciate everyone listening as long as they have. If anybody have any last minute questions, I'm happy to specifically take any particular questions or anything that was confusing. Any question is a great question. That's my rule. So let me know. Anyone? Look, there's me. Now you can't say no to my face. So I didn't want to keep blocking the picture. So. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody. I really do. It was awesome. Thank you very, very much. There's my email address. I'm sure most of you have it since you got 1,000 emails to come to this event, which I'm honored that you attended. And that's it. All right. Well, if there's no more questions or anything like that, I will bid you adieu. I will say my email is always open, and please send any questions that you might ever have. Much appreciated. Thanks, everyone.